the stock market, meaning companies' new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Oh, welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. This is the no bullshit approach to all financial markets, from NFTs and Bitcoin. Also, we cover the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Today on Market Mania, we get to the bag like we always do. The Stimmie is incoming, money flowing to everybody. NFT market roundup, that might signal the top. EIP1559 coming soon to Ethereum, what that means for your Uniswap gas prices. And lead story, GBTC, the Bitcoin Trust. Matt Glantz, I know that you have your eyes on this one. What has happened to the premium?
So I've traded this on and off for the last, 3 years. And everyone knows it's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Basically, what it is it's like a proxy for Bitcoin, and it's equal to like 0.96 of the Bitcoin price, divided by 10,000 or 1,000, whatever it is. Right now, GBTC is around $45. Bitcoin is 51,000 approximately. Usually, over the last 2 or 3 years, up until this past month, the Bitcoin Trust traded at a nice premium, anywhere from 10 to 40, sometimes up to 50% premium to Bitcoin. And when the market got hit this past couple of weeks, everything turned around. Now Greystone is trading at a big discount to Bitcoin. On Friday, when the market was at its lows, the discount was around 16%. Now it's still about 7%. So if you are holding Bitcoin and say you sold your Bitcoin and then went in and bought GBTC, it's supposedly going to go up or down the same percentage as Bitcoin over time, and you're getting a nice 7% discount. So it's something to point out. You can kind of arbitrage the situation, and who knows if it's going to be trading at a premium month from now or par. It really should be trading at par, especially with ETFs coming out, but it really should never be trading at a discount, because you're really not losing anything. You actually have more security with holding GBTC than Bitcoins. You can't lose your GBTC and FDIC insured. So, Micah, would you consider selling your Bitcoin and buying it?
No, it's just not the product. I mean, it's better to hold it yourself. That's the point of it, that you have it and no one else. You don't have to ask anybody. Okay. But the fee, there's some sort of a yearly fee. It's like
2%,
2%. Yeah, is it 2 points? So where does that come out of? When does that hit the price? I wonder, or does it?
I guess in theory it'll be discounted 2% each year from the price of Bitcoin. But right now it's that's over time, so small pieces each day, like whatever, a tenth of a percent or something. But if you hold GBTC, if it's par today, and you held it for a year, you should gain 2% less than if you held Bitcoin. But it's trading a 7% discount right now. So if theoretically you can get out for par a year from now, you'd make 5%.
Fun stuff. I do remember this asset traded at a reasonable premium. And like you said, 10, 20%, and you're always adding it up. Like, why?
Businesses built on that arbitrage.
The reason that it traded a premium for so long is because that's the only way people could get into their IRAs buy Bitcoin is through GBTC, or funds that weren't able to buy Bitcoin itself would buy this. So, but that's kind of going away, especially there's a Canadian ETF, which some people can use now, and there's other ways to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's easier to buy. So it doesn't make sense for GBTC to have a premium, but because people are getting out and the market's getting hit, stock market's getting hit, it makes a little bit of sense why it's at a discount now, but you can take advantage of it.
So we got Glantz talking about Bitcoin today. Bitcoin a little over 50K, 50.8 now. PayPal news, they bought some custodial something, if I recall, today. Yeah. I guess that might be moving it, down technically over 24 hours. And then in other cryptocurrency news, those are markets, big markets now. Ethereum, the fee market overhaul, Ethereum Improvement Protocol EIP1559. Brett, what does this mean for gas prices on the
so I've been fairly critical of Ethereum recently because it's become kind of a whale's playground with expensive fees because these DeFi protocols, it's so valuable to be able to trade them. People are willing to pay a lot of money to use Ethereum network. And the miners are obviously really doing well. So this overhaul essentially gets rid of the miners. Like right now, if I wanted to send you Ethereum, I pick the mining fee I'm willing to pay, and then some miner scoops it up at some point. This gets rid of that. The network now determines the fee, and they just burn it. So the miners are getting none of transfer fees anymore. It's supposedly going to be a lot smaller, and the fee gets burned. So the supply of Ethereum should theoretically go down, although it is an inflationary asset. But there will be ETH being burned, and miners won't be getting it. So this should be much better for like the little middle type of trader. And it's scheduled to launch in July.
Crazy stuff. What I tried to read a little bit about this, and I'll admit to not understanding exactly how Ethereum works. I mean, I'll raise hand right here, first guy to admit it. I wonder if this means those Uniswap fees where I see people posting pictures, hey, I'm adding liquidity, it's $212. So I really got to ape in, more than I was, I really got to ape in a lot to justify the fee. I wonder if that starts to go down. I wonder if I think it
all should go down. I don't know that it's going to be. I think the regular just transferring ETH is going to be fairly cheap. It's not horribly expensive now. What really gets expensive is when you start. But it's not always $9, and also but fine. But using Uniswap or some of these things, you're talking over $100, right? Or a lot of, if you want to do flash loans and all these swaps, like you start doing crazy things, it gets really expensive. So I would assume those are going to come down somewhat also. Again, with Ethereum, they are very good at making a lot of bold promises that don't always come to fruition, certainly not within the timeline promised. So I still like a little bit of like a wait and see. It's not like, hey, they announced this is coming in July. Suddenly it's this low fee playground. Part of it, you got to see how it actually unfolds.
I agree. You need to watch and see what happens on Ethereum. It'll be very interesting. They lost a lot of that NFT market, which was created on Ethereum in essence. No Counterparty is the original one, but most of the active trading happened on Ethereum. And then that just kind of started leaking out to all these other L2 networks. Matic, I see, and like there are other solutions out there that, you can't pay $40 to transfer a CryptoKitty. You can't, that just takes all the fun out of it when it's, you can't make low-priced NFTs anymore. And it looks like ETH is trying to react to that. Do not understand exactly how the MEV or why these mining pools or 60% of the hashing power was against it. Miners
are obviously against it because they are getting all the revenue from these trades that now they're going to get none of. So they need to find other sources of revenue. And supposedly this MEV means they can start front-running profitable traders themselves. So the miners may actually turn into some sort of either trading syndicates or like lending their hash power to trading groups in order to try and front run successful traders, because it's all public, right? You can see, similar to Top Shot, you can see what trades the top users are making and potentially use that mining hash power to jump in front of them.
That is one of many things in this article and this happening that I don't understand. You're going to they're taking away the fees, but telling the miners they're going to front run traders. Like I don't get it.
And that's another problem with Ethereum, right? Like the front running it's been a problem the whole time. It still continues to be. This doesn't solve it. I don't know what the solution is, but it's going to be frustrating if you're like a noble, skilled trader and you're just getting front run all the time because you're good and people are going to do that. So I don't know the solution, but I'll be watching.
That's shenanigans right there. That's just they're front running like Uniswap trade. I don't even know
anything. It's all public, right? So whatever trade you want.
Reminds me of the Whitey Cracker song. We said, "I got gas, bitch. I got gas, bitch. You go last, bitch. You go last, bitch."
Oh, by the way, we got our first super chat from Daniel Bonnet. Thank you very much. Big fan of the show, and we love seeing you in the chat room every day.
a super chat. We'll have to read what that is too. A lot of stuff I don't know about today on Market Mania. But also one thing that I don't know about, never participated in this, but this is the NFT. This might be a sign of the top here, boys, or at least this is at the very least where we're at today. Unsolicited 8-bit dick pics showed up on OpenSea. I became aware of this just this morning, and those are beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Certainly in a CryptoPunk style. It says they were airdropped to existing addresses. Nobody could buy them. Oh, gosh, look, there's a graphic one. And what is that? That's a ring. Okay, I believe that is the Prince Albert. Is that? I believe it's okay. But the point is here is that, I mean, this is good work. Whoever did this out there, that is good work. You've really created something special here. But they really were unsolicited. They sent these ETH NFT tokens to existing addresses. Nobody was able to buy them at the beginning. They were just dropped. And they were an unsolicited 8-bit dick pic. And then they started immediately, as soon as an NFT of any sort is minted these days, it seems to end up on OpenSea, which is, I believe, still the biggest platform. And then I think these were going for, I don't know, Tony, if you can click last sale, because these are, there's one for 1 ETH. You can pay $1,500 for an 8-bit unsolicited dick pic. We will look back at this, ladies and gentlemen, and this show serves as a great record of how crazy it got in 2021. Brett Ritchie, you buying any dick pics here?
No, this is a hard pass for me. I find a lot of it, like, you knew this was going to happen when you see some of those sales, that there was just going to be a herd of musicians, artists, scammers piling into the NFT space. So I think we've definitely hit like buyer beware status. I saw that Ryan Doubt, this poker player we know, he was talking about, he bought another CryptoPunk just now. That's really kind of taking on the Bitcoin of NFTs. I know you love your counterparty ones, but it seems like the CryptoPunks are sort of the Bitcoin where people think those ones will hold value. A lot of this new stuff is just trying to cash in on that trend, and 97 to 99% is going to go to zero.
Tony, can we scroll back up a little bit and then see if there are any last sales or on some of them? I don't know exactly. I know the navigation and everything crypto, despite OpenSea being wonderful, is a little bit strange. But yeah, unsolicited 8-bit dick pics, that is where we're at. And they did get dropped to addresses. I'm gonna have to, might want to check your addresses out there if you are active on OpenSea. I don't know how they did it, but I'm sorry. That's kind of a funny gaffe, really, just with the ridiculousness of the NFT. Matt Glantz, I mean, is this something you're interested in, or is that a hard pass for you too?
Hard pass. It's something that's just beyond my comprehension of why it's even a thing, but whatever. Let's move on. Let's hear what Tony has to say about something real like the interest rates, which is a very meaningful thing in the market right now.
From dick pics to interest rates, Tony, the producer, welcome to the show.
That's a hard act to follow, man. So, look,
there was the soft cap is there.
Yeah, no doubt. The tweet that caught my attention here is this one that says Deutsche Bank, average 18 to 34-year-old plans to invest 50% of their $1,400 stimulus check in the stock market. Prepare for some inflows. Now, my thoughts on this are, well, before I saw the dick pics, I thought, yeah, the stock market's going to go up, but now that people have dicks to buy, I mean, maybe this thesis doesn't work. But the thing is, yes, there's going to be a massive inflow into equities, and I think smart money is really excited about that because they're looking right here at the 10-year. We replaced our gold with the 10-year. Now that keeps creeping up. That's almost at 1.6 right now. We talked a little bit about that last week, how when bond yields go up, equities lose because now there is another investing option. So what's very possible here is everybody gets their Stimmie, they throw it into the stock market just in time for the big players to leave them holding the bag. They BTFO, and then they go buy the bonds. So that's my main thesis on this. But Matt, you as a trader,
that's a really important thing that Tony brings up there. Deutsche Bank did a poll with, it says the average 18 to 23-year-olds are going to put 50% of their stimulus check into the market, into the stock market. Their stimulus checks are going to be like $1,400 each. I think they're coming either at the end of next week or the week after, sometime by the end of this month. and it's just it's a game to figure out where they're going to put their money. So we know, like, obviously they like AMC and GameStop. They like Tesla. So a lot of those stocks might pump by the big boys ahead of those Stimmie checks coming out because they know they're going to have buyers coming in after them. So it's a really interesting point that Tony brings up there that we should stay aware of.
Yeah, and I think if you're watching and you're looking to get your Stimmie in the stock market, think about Bitcoin, think about gold and silver. I think the stock market, I keep saying it feels like a top, and every time I say that it goes up a little bit more, but this just really feels like a top. We're talking about dick pics today. I mean, something's at a top right now.
Well, Deutsche Bank says the 18 to 24-year-olds said only 50% of their 1,400 will go into this stock market. That leaves 50% for Bitcoin and other degenerate activities. So we'll see. Probably a lot of it's going to go into Bitcoin also.
A lot of it's going into marijuana too. A lot of it's going into Netflix. I mean,
maybe the Wendy's stock I touted last week might catch a little tailwind from these guys too.
Look, buy silver. Silver's still a meme stock as far as I'm concerned. You can squeeze silver still, and if you're gonna do it, check this out. This is my custom Mindak Gold silver round. Mindak Jack gave that to me last week when I went and topped up my silver. So if you're gonna spend your other half on Stimmie, spend it on silver and call Mindak.
Yeah, there's exactly zero 18 to 23-year-olds going to buy silver. Just so we're clear, exactly zero.
Right on.
Got a couple in Transylvania that may decide to ape in just for protection. Thank you, Tony. And if you would, thank you very much for keeping us up to date on the real stuff, whether dick pics or the 10-year yield. Both are important to the market, but nothing as important as the stuff that you guys tell us. So please, once again, if you can get to the Market Mania mailbag and empty your sack on us, Tony.
Yeah, Ethan VK from Twitter is asking, what do we think about PIPR and wood? These are timber commodity track. I think wood is an ETF here. Now, the interesting thing about timber and really all commodities is, yes, the prices are going up, way up on all commodities. There's wood right there, PIPR. But lumber in particular, people have been seeing a spike in prices, but it isn't the lumber makers, it isn't the cutters, the tree clearers that are making the money. The reason the price on wood is going up is because the price of oil and other commodities that goes into that is going up. So if you're buying something that tracks the price of lumber, you're not going to reap the benefit. You're better off tracking oil or tracking uranium or tracking some other commodity that is actually scarce. And really, the people making the wood are feeling the pinch too. Their prices to complete their contracts are going up. Their margins are getting shaved, and the only people making any real money are the further down the chain. So be careful if you're getting into these commodities.
The people making the wood, now we're not talking about unsolicited 8-bit dick pics.
That's right.
Okay, that was actually about the asset, the timber that's traded as a commodity. I only see your mailbag on the screen. I don't see actual timber prices ticking, but that is not a problem. You could have sort of assumed that it's a chart, right, with candles, and it goes up, and then now it's it's spiking. And I don't know why the hell you're buying. Who messages with timber? I don't know who the hell out there is even concerned in these markets. I really don't know. There's so many shinier things just in front of you. I can think of like dozens of shinier.
It can be a good thing to have a forestry oriented fund or something, like, especially if you know that industry. You could have a big edge focusing on one of these more narrow sectors, right?
Well, I can recommend commodities right now. Commodities super cycles incoming. So get exposure to commodities, but make sure you pick the right ones.
The ones that go up, preferably. What else we got, Tony?
We got from Chris, why is NVIDIA tanking? Seems like overwhelming amount of good news for them in recent days.
Matt, you got this?
So NVIDIA came out 2 weeks ago with unbelievable earnings. Stock was up after hours, sold off the next day, and it's been going straight down. But every tech stock that had great earnings has done the exact same thing. Went up a little bit on the earnings and then just immediately sold off. The next day sold off more, and just they've all been continuing down. So it's been good news equals bad news for the stock, and that's a bad sign for the market, especially for techs. So it's the same kind of thing as a lot of times the market's been opening up and sells off right off the open every day. So It's been an unfortunate time to be long. I've been long Nvidia. I've been long Tesla, same thing. So, a lot of these stocks are having trouble. Stocks that we know and love that are doing well in the business world are not doing more. Their stocks are not doing as well right now.
All right, and we got a final question here, and then I'll get out of here. Matt, are you long CCIV right now?
Right now, I'm flat. I'm short the 25 straddle that expires next week. Stocks 23. So as long as it closes in between 20 and 30 by next Friday, then I'm just flat.
All right, sack empty, boys.
All right. When Tony empties his sack, that means we go right to the hottest part of the show. We do not give you investment advice, but we do give you the Market Mania pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack. I'm stacking to the top.
Safety glasses on. Got to go with ape season again. Still haven't charged the hat that tells you that this is not investment advice. Please do your own research. We're just throwing out tickers and gambling. Matt Glantz, what do you got for us today on the pick of the day?
GBTC. So this is a chance for all you guys that out there, probably half the world still isn't comfortable owning Bitcoin, doing the transactions, having a wallet. You can buy GBTC Trust. It's just like a stock in the stock market. And you can also get a 7% discount to Bitcoin. So you can effectively own Bitcoin at a discount. You're paying a 2% management fee, but you're getting a 7% discount. So net, you're winning 5% over the next 12 months, theoretically, versus owning Bitcoin.
All right. Gotta like that one. Brett Ritchie, what is your pick of the day?
I'm going with ETH. Ethereum, I like this news about the change in fees that should make it more accessible. But I would say, again, I'm in believe it when I see it mode in terms of ETH, but I think you can kind of trade the hype up to July and then make your own decision once it actually launches, if it's going to work or not. But I think the next few months are going to be good for Ethereum pretty much regardless.
All right. And 2 crypto picks, number 1 and number 2 cap cryptos. And I'm going to go with the stock. It's a great day on Market Mania. I'm going with Tortoise Acquisition. They're going to be scooping Volta, a EV charging station that shows you ads. And that sounds like something that's going to be everywhere and keep getting bigger and be a profitable thing to just fire your ads while you got your Tesla hooked up to that thing at the mall. So that is my pick. Don't know much about it. Haven't really kicked the tires under there. Just kind of love that idea. And, you got anything with a $2 billion valuation, 1.7, and that thing becomes a real thing. That thing just blows up. You get your little 5Xer in there. So that's going to do it today. We do appreciate everybody that tunes in here to YouTube or TikTok or wherever you're watching us on and checks out Market Mania. We will leave you like we always do with a quote from a modern day poet. Here we're going with Debbie Harry's Rush Rush from back in the 80s. Goes something like this. He's a real speed demon. He's one of a kind. Watching, waiting, winking over his shoulder. He's running out of time. Rush, rush to the yayo. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe right here on YouTube and hit us up at Market Mania Show on Twitter and TikTok. We will see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine.
Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl.
Switch it up.
I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard at the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. Power of attorney where I would turn in. Can't lie like it's to be burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind. Was afraid of the time. Strobe light flicker in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now. How about tonight? My interview's tight now. I was surviving.